Hello there and welcome back to Middle-earth, where we are currently travelling to Saralond, I think it's called. Yes, we have found some labour work and we want to find out a little bit more about Gondor and its various kingdoms and whatnot. So let's go ahead and set off. I also just want to say that the Arnold stream will be continuing on Thursday. I did mention in the stream that I'm a bit busy this week. But yes, the streams will be back on Thursday. Anyway, travelling through the sometimes harsh environments has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigour. As I glance over at Interdil, however, he does not appear to be doing quite as good. His movement is laboured, his breathing heavy, and spontaneous bursts of coughing ripple through his body. Clearly he is not well. Oh, Interdil, what is happening with you? I think, let's let him rest and recover fully. There's no use having our small camp of members here perish on the road there. We're gonna journey together. Also, I like that we have roads here. It makes it much quicker to get across Gondor. And in fact, this huge distance took no time at all. Loads of new contracts. We're not doing these. However, I did just get a diplomacy perk because we're visiting so many locations. Right. What do I want for this one? I'm probably not going to be sending gifts anytime soon. I could sway people. Contract prestige rewards. See, these perks are going to change once I'm no longer a wanderer, which is also why I'm not leveling up this. A few of you mentioned, why don't I do this? It's because in the long run, we will not be a traveler. We will actually return to Rhûn. And of course, we would want to unite the Easterlings. But first, we have a bit of exploration to do. I think I'm just going to do, you know what, close family opinion plus 15. Eventually that will come in useful. Right, the distant haven of Saralond. Saralond, I am told, was once a city of exiles. Specifically, it was where those who had lost favour in Pelargir would opt to retire. Whether permanently or temporarily would depend on many factors. It was when a twofold city of exiles, for it became the dwelling of those who most chafed under the newfound authority of Gondor's kings. However, in the time the kings asserted their power and reigned in the rebellious city, but the reality of its distance from Gondor's heart has not changed, thus fostering a somewhat independent spirit. The people here pride themselves on self-reliance and being able to handle their problems without the aid of Minas Tirith. However, this does have its downsides. It is a smaller city to be sure, and many of the fineries and that can be found in the east of Gondor cannot be gotten here. As a result, though, it has developed a unique cuisine culture steeped in the local specialities such as fish and lamb. Interesting. Truly, self-reliance is a virtue, I have learned. And I shall keep that lesson in my memory. Mess tent is now being constructed. Do we actually make use of it, though? Because it's locked, right? So I'd have to upgrade my camp, which I'm not sure I'm going to do. Let's see if we have a special building. We do have the city of Saralond. So Saralond was founded in 2903 of the Second Age by enterprising merchants from the Pelargirian League, an outpost to serve as an entrepot to the inland regions. However, in the time the entrepot became a full colony, and Saralond became a common place for the politically defeated or disgraced of the League to retire to. Indeed, after the Pelargirian League came to its agreement with Isildur and Honorian to swear fealty, the premier members of the effort opposing fealty relocated to Saralond, where the power of the kings was minimal. While on paper Saralond swore fealty to Gondor, as did all the Dunedain realms on the Bay of Belfalas, in practice the realms in Anfalas and Andrast functioned as independent city-states with little oversight and paying only lip service to their fealty. This would ultimately be ended by Taranon Fallister's westward expansion, when he curbed the independence of those old coastal city-states, forcing them to honour their obligations and vows, ending their autonomy, and incorporating them as proper provinces of Gondor. I could foresee a future playthrough where maybe we start in one of these coastal cities, and the goal is to take back independence from Gondor, and maybe we unite all of the coastal cities in our aim of that. I don't know, maybe that could be a fun future playthrough. I think there's so much we could do. I really do enjoy it. I've said it many times already, but I love learning all these little bits of lore when playing. It's really fun. The fields of Ephir Morfond are a sight to behold. Every crop in bloom, every leaf green, every stem luscious. I quickly tracked down the source of the verdancy, spotting a man standing in a field. seemingly holding a lecture of some sort to a gathering of listeners. My name is Master Sirata. He notices me in the distance and turns in my direction. My knowledge of gardening is vast, yes, incomparably vast. So stay a while and listen. Do you know what? Color me intrigued. I gained down to Earth for 10 years. I gained learning and a health boost as well. That's not so bad, is it? We'll learn a little bit about gardening as well. Maybe we can start growing our own herbs, help with the provisions. Traversing the farmlands on the outskirts of Dinadab, we are suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders. Out for blood. Another set of riders rapidly approach from the nearby holding, led by Mayor Arafor. I am very pleasantly surprised by the altruistic demeanor of the local mayor, and I praise her Ariga that they arrived just in time. Arafor circles back around with a victorious grin on his face. You should join us for some Gondorian hospitality at Dinadab. Do you know what? It would be my honor. Thank you, Mayor Arafor, for riding to my aid. I don't know what we would have done without you. As we trudge down the road, a building hove into view. The battered sign outside reads the Queen's Head Inn. No luck here tonight. We've barely got room for our current loaders, let alone anyone new. And especially not you ragtag types. Ragtag? Hold on a minute there. Surely we can come to some kind of arrangement here. There we go. We do find a place to stay for the night. The lads are rested. And we should be getting on our merry way back to Minas Tirith. It is known that the people of Bar Gilcador seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lord, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I am in search of a marvelous fountain, which water is said to cure all illnesses. If you were to help me in my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Really nice armor you have there. Would you care to share a little bit of coin? 305 gold. And of course we have no outgoings, so this gold will be very useful at some point. Since setting out from Pelennor nearly half a year ago, I have seen highs and lows, reveled in the wind blowing through my hair, and lamented the rocks in my boots. There are so many places, so many things I have yet to see. Out there on the open road, I feel free of the confinement of camp, if only for a little while. The roads are full of pilgrims and wanderers. Perhaps it is among them that I will find peace of mind. I have become a traveller. I gain diplomacy. We gain wandering lifestyle experience. An opinion of travel characters +5. Ooh, it's about time. We've travelled quite a bit, I would say. Right. Do we have any more work? Yes, I already see it. So we're going to go back up north of the river and we're going to visit Arenaleif? Rhûn. Pronunciation is a struggle as always. Guys, I've struggled with this my whole life. Cut me some slack. I have managed to secure a position as a manual labourer and guard on a merchant group heading to the region of Arenaleif. I'm gonna call it that because it's a little bit easier. Feel free to correct me though, as always. And this is going to be a very quick journey indeed, isn't it? Yes. Solker Andros is an island turned into a fortress. That is my first fort, and that is just reinforced as I explore it. Oh, there is more than just fortresses, but it is obvious that the houses are only here because of the fortresses. The towers and forts have been judiciously placed around the isle, but are apparent in their age in some places. Yet even despite that age, they remain masterworks of construction and planning, seemingly arranged in such a way as to allow for a concerted defender to hold the entire isle until reinforcements arrive, even with limited manpower. While I am obviously not permitted to see inside myself, I can only imagine the weapons within the keeps, waiting to assail any who would attack the isle. Is there any ship more deadly than an island? Our mess tent got upgraded as well, but we're not making use of that right now. So I guess this island is kind of to protect the Anduin? Maybe to stop fleets coming in and assailing Gondor from the north? Let's see, we probably have a special building here. So we got the Ruins of Kairos. The Citadel of Kairos was first established in 1248 of the Third Age by Minalcar, regent to Kim Narmasil I, following his defeat of the Easterlings. Ah, that is probably where the stories of demons and whatnot stemmed from. The Easterlings were defeated by the Gondorians. It was the southernmost of a chain of fortifications along the Anduin, reaching as far north as the Limelight. Well, I'll try and remember Limelight. We'll search for that in a moment. In the year 2900, Stuart Turin II restored their dilapidated fortifications to protect Anorian against a growing Orcish threat in Ithilien. By the end of the Third Age, the citadel was again largely ruinous, but if manned, its surviving curtained walls created an additional barrier to any foe attempting to cross the Anduin via Car Andros. Interesting. Limelight. I assume that's a proper place. Yeah, we have Limleith. I don't think that's Limelight, is it? No, that's all the way up there. Maybe I shall Google that after I finish recording. I shall do that. Right, let's return to the capital. Is there... Someone's fighting a Nazgul somewhere, because there was a Stand With Us contract. Was it this one? It might be this one? Are you fighting someone? You are. Let's see. So the Nazguls are fighting and whatnot. Right, let's zoom out a little bit. We'll wait a few months and we'll see if another contract pops up. The Nazguls are fighting everyone. I have a feeling, because we've been all the way west, and now we're back here, we might be at the natural conclusion for exploring Gondor. Let's see. We're on the first of the third month. Let's just hang on a little bit. But I have a feeling it might be time to move on, which is exciting. Our little forest of tents pulling itself up every few evenings is something we've gotten very, very good at of late. First one, then another, with people and tools spreading out down the lines to help their neighbours in a model of speed and efficiency. Even Incendil and Obad, neither of whom have historically seen eye to eye, are helping out one another tonight, laughing like old friends as they go. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Sure, it's good to see those two getting along. As I read the tales of the First Age, I stopped to study the fall of Gondolin. For nearly 75 years, Turgon and his people secretly built Gondolin. Thanks to the 7 gates of the Hidden Path, the city lived 400 years of prosperity and remained hidden from the eyes of the Dark Lord. However, the traitor Maeglin, Turgon's nephew, was captured outside the city, and through torture revealed the location of the city. Morgoth's forces subsequently sacked and razed the city. So I can become a holy warrior, a forder, or a flexible leader. I have a feeling. Let's see, forder is nice, but I might actually go for flexible leader. Bountig knows how to reduce the advantage defending armies get from fortifications, terrain, rivers, and straight crossings. Given everything that I've seen in Gondor, I feel like lore-wise, this makes quite a bit of sense as well. Right, I think that all of the work has now dried up in Gondor. And with that perfect timing, I think it's time to leave. Confirming the suspicions of some, the great Haradrim realm of Rhûn has begun assault upon Gondor. Likely seeking to wrest the long-contested lands of Harandor from the Gondorians, the invasion comes as little surprise to many, as there had been rumours that great armies and fleets had long been mustering, readying themselves for the great assault. Whether expected or not, however, Gondor is likely to face a challenging fight against the invaders, who seek to assail Gondor by 2 avenues. The bulk of the Haradrim army shall proceed via land from the south, while the Corsairs of Umbar have launched their own attack on the Gondorian coastline, likely desiring to capitalize upon an opportunity rather than any out of inherent loyalty. The Bay of Belfulus shall run red. Oh, if we did do this could be a good timing to, like, declare independent as one of the coastal cities. But anyway, I do think it's time for us to leave Gondor behind. War has found these lands, and I have heard of a great kingdom to the south. Is it filled with demons, or is it much like Gondor? Maybe they're a little bit more human than I was led to believe. So we are going to take the contract, and we will now travel to Rhûn. And now leave Gondor behind, head into the lands of their oft foes. The South Road is no longer as safe as it once was, I was told, but some travellers and traders still brave the enmity and the strife in pursuit of riches. I shall pray that we arrive safely, or I can stay. No, let us set off at once. So we did max out Gondorian cities, so now we need to max out the Rhûn cities visited. And I guess, without further ado, let us set off south. This has been really enjoyable so far. Really enjoyable. Bragulus, the local captain, and a few of his officers greet me as my entourage enter the military camps of Gloro. I quickly dismount, eager to inspect the local barracks, positively brimming with activity. I nod, appreciating the organized chaos I am observing. Now, what would you, my lord, want to do next? Bragulus looks at me expectantly. You could join me. Ooh. I could increase my martial by 1. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind some sparring. There we go. We increase our martial by 1. We gain some prestige. I should be able to protect us on the road if any bandits decide to attack us. And the armies of Gondor can be seen on the horizon. Maybe we even made friends with a few of the levies, you know, going off to help with the labor and whatnot. And it seems that actually we left in just good time, because some merchants travelling on the road have told me of a long winter that has just arrived in the north. Word reaches me of an unrelenting and bitter cold sweeping across the northern lands of Middle-earth. Snow falls thick and heavy, covering the plains and mountains in an icy shroud long before the usual time. The people of these lands are said to be suffering terribly, with many freezing to death in the biting winds. The early frost has ruined harvests and left food supplies perilously low. Families huddle together in whatever warmth they can find. But starvation looms large, and fear grows that this winter may bring suffering unlike any in living memory. Traders and travellers speak of empty roads and villages silenced by the cold, the once bustling north reduced to grim endurance. As the snows deepen and the cold spreads, the fate of those caught in its grip grows ever more uncertain. Let us hope that the cold does not reach us, and it definitely won't reach us down here. We are very fortunate with our timing to leave Gondor. And there we go. We have arrived in the United Lands of the South. So the Golden Lands, they call themselves. If there is gold, it is well hidden. To the men of Gondor, this land is Haradwaith, the Southlands. It is a sun-blasted land full of sand and rocky outcrops. Not to say there is no beauty here in this rugged land. The great Rhûn cuts through the desert, a life-giving stream around which the many people of this land congregate for sustenance. In recent generations, the long disunited folk of this land have been brought together beneath their great taskroot. Infrastructure and connections have been built anew, and it is an age of prosperity. But that prosperity has also brought ambition, fueled by religious zeal. There is a drive to ever more expand their wealth in their realm, to defeat the infidels of the north. Time will tell if they can, but having seen the splendor of Gondor, I am somewhat skeptical of their chances, but perhaps the unity of the people and purpose are an example that I should take note of. What could my people do if we were united so and thus? The dream of a united Easterling people is now growing ever more in my mind. And in fact, let's keep that in mind as let's go fishing a little bit. I'm going to go fish alone. We'll try and get some provisions and whatnot for the camp. And let's see. I don't see any contracts yet. We do have the one in Umbar, but that would make us leave this region. I gaze down sadly at my meal. A barely ripe apple stands out as the most appealing of the fare. There is no shortage of food at camp, but the variety is lacking. Wilting vegetables we have plenty of. Well, I could really do with some prime meat. Obad leaps to his feet, bow in hand, reaching for a quiver. I've had enough of this. These may be Tarp Tomo's lands, but I am sure he can spare the merest trimmings of the fat. No, we do not poach without permission. I will not do that. We do get some provisions, but yes, let us not become poachers. We come here with good intentions and whatnot. But hopefully, there we go, we found some work. So, before we do that though, let's see, we're over here. We don't have a special building there. We do have one here. So the Grand Palace of Rhûn. Upon the banks of the Rhûn River in Rhûn sits the proud palatial complex known as the Grand Palace of Rhûn. Sporting tall domes and grand avenues, it is a wonder of Rhûn's artistry. Here the kings of Rhûn hold court, and tributees come bearing gifts to honor them. Interesting. But we must set off west. Let us follow the River Rhûn. How far deep does this go? I guess, it goes quite deep. It really does go across the whole land, even to this lake over here, which isn't actually named. I'm not sure if it's a major lake or not. Right, let us travel to Amakudvo. We have found some more work. Let us take the contract, and we shall set off west at once. It should be quite a quick journey. It's not too far at all. But first, we have an unusual encounter. Avoiding the harsh midday sun, we have made temporary camp inside a peculiar and very damp cave. Did you hear that, my captain? Obad seems ill at ease with our dark shelter. As I turn around, I am suddenly face to face with a young boy who must somehow have walked right past Obad. The startled child immediately vanishes deeper into the caves. Joe, we must follow the child. This is very strange indeed. I must investigate. We delve deeper and deeper under the earth, leaving the bright sunlit landscape behind for increasingly damp, dark tunnels. As I finally catch up with the boy, I am distracted by a splendid sight. An ancient system of underground canals extends as far as the eye can see. Welcome, Captain, to my very own palace. It is likely to dwarf even yours. He looks up at me defiantly, clearly dismayed, but I managed to follow him all the way down here. So I could die for treasure, but there's a good chance I become ill. I could study the structures, or I can tell him to respect your betters, boy. Do you know what? I think I could learn something from studying the structures. I gain development growth plus 10% for 25 years. I think that will actually come in use. 25 years is a long time. How old am I? I'm only 21 at the moment. I think we started 17. And I just unlocked another martial perk. Beautiful stuff. Turning a bend on the path, we come across a group of people covered in dust, emerging from what must once have been an impressive tomb. They hoist burlap sacks that jingle and jangle, weighed down by the trinkets they have dug out of the ancient building. Times are hard, dear Captain. Our families must be fed, and we are not doing harm to anyone among the living. Their leader looks up at us with some trepidation. She clearly realizes that this does not look good for them. They are desperate. I could reimburse them. Well, I could say, the captain deserves his cut. Yeah, the captain deserves his cut. I gained 15 gold there, which is very nice. We have stayed on the road slightly too long, and the sun is starting to dip below the horizon. Out of the surrounding terrain, shapes start to merge and form into angry-looking armed figures. Oh no, it looks like they've hired some bandits for revenge. This here road has a toll. Pay up. My caravan master Obad steps forward, weapon raised, and looks to me for direction. Oh no, it's not looking good. I could try this. Do you know what? Tolls are for peasants, and I am a captain. I think we got away with it. I don't think anything bad happened. Right. So for Bronze Titan, Amakut is a city unlike any I have ever seen. Not for the city itself, but for it itself is like most others. No, what sets it apart is the great Bronze Titan which looks over it. A mighty king of old, I am told, who once held all the seas of the world under his sway, so proud that even the sea god himself, from the men of Harad Fear, chafed at the bravado. It is strange that it has withstood the test of time. I ask a nearby local why the statue still stands. Was this not a foreign king? He puzzles for a time before saying he believes it is in some ways a cautionary tale. Even the mightiest of kings shall fall and fail in time. The people once subjugated in chains now rule the land. The proud king once did. He then sheepishly admits he had never previously thought about it. The folk here just accept its presence as fact, and even take a degree of pride in it. Some old coinage he once saw even bore the Titan on it, he claims. That is most curious, and we gain a statue as well. We gain less stress and whatnot. Do you know what? Let's equip that. I forgot to sell my sponge on a stick, didn't I? I should probably sell that too. Let's get a new perk here. I think we're going to start going down strategist. Because eventually I will want a cavalry army. So getting perks for those would be very useful. And let's see. So the bronze statue of Tar Ankalimon. The town of Ankalimon is named after the Númenórean king of the same name. The only things that have remained intact from those days are the two-tiered defensive walls and a 30-foot tall bronze statue, which stands in the top plaza of the city. The city remains an important trade hub on the Rhûn trade routes, and from Vatar and Kalimon keeps a stern watch over all the subjects of his former kingdoms, Haradrim, Adunaic, or Gondorio. Interesting. This could be a cool place to start as well then, I guess. Now, man, I really need to explore more of these cultures and whatnot. There's so much interesting stuff which is outside of the northern part of the map, which I just haven't really explored too much. Right, let's head back. Once I get back, we're going to try and sell this bloody sponge on a stick as well. Before I forget, we do have another contract, but wait there. So, if we visit the castle, I think here, I was thinking of something else. Maybe I can sell some artifacts. There we go. So, I want to sell the sponge on a stick. I get 14 gold, but I'm not using it, so that's fine. Right, I'm done here for the time being. Let us now go to Corp Tasgrau, which is the capital of these lands. Or so I have heard. And this should be very quick. We just crossed the bridge and we're basically there. So Corp Tasgrau, known in Gondor as Amrûn, is an impressive city with a character all its own, primarily made out of a dusty sandstone. The streets are of varying quality, some are well maintained and made of brick, others are just dusty dirt paths. Vibrant bazaars contrast with dark alleys. The main Haradrim who call the city home are as diverse as the lands of the south. The great palatial district of the heart contains the government, but they dare not get too close, for many are the guards, and they look idly on a foreigner. I stick to the middle districts, where many merchants from near and far can be found, some bearing goods imported from across the great desert to the south. There are a great many temples in this city, and preachers of a strange serpent-shaped god most prominent among the streets. Mystics and zealots seem to be in a plentiful supply, many peddling holy relics, curses, blessings, or other strange charms. Let's see what I can find. I do gain a new artifact. Gives me a health boost and some piety. I will hang on to that, thank you very much. I just realized, like, for me, this is already far south, but of course we have the desert here, with where the Scorpion King usually starts. Another fun character. We have Belakar, and we have all of this stuff down south as well. Like, it just keeps on going. Oh, there's so much cool stuff. We have the Yellow Mountains down here as well, don't we? Yeah, the Yellow Mountains are here, and then we have the Western Yellow Mountains there as well. So there's still dwarfs down here too. Oh, it's all interesting stuff. Right. Was there a special building? Yeah, we had the Grand Palace, which we read earlier. Okay. We have a right back. How is my trait looking? I haven't actually gained any trait experience here. I wonder why. Ah, there we go. I gained some. I just wasn't being patient enough. Alright, let's gather some provisions. We gain more. We're not in any danger here. And I guess, so we're halfway to level 1. Let's see if we can get any more contracts. So we're currently on the 4th month. Let's wait until, I guess, the 6th or 7th month to see if anything new pops up. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to start taking out some of these normal contracts. As long as we stay in this area, I think we'll be fine and we'll keep on gaining experience. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more contracts. Right. So, taking a look at my camp. We do have a few prowess characters. But outside of that, we don't really have a lot, do we? No. Maybe I could get some men-at-arms so I could help out in some of these conflicts. That could be a possibility. We do have 334 gold. I don't think men-at-arms have an upkeep, right? We could get some of these cataphracts, which are looking very, very nice, I must say. Cataphracts, known as the Lochuria, are the heavy cavalry of the Easterlings of Rhûn. Scaled armor is worn by both rider and mount, and both are trained from a young age to bear it. But do I want to do that now? Maybe we can find them here. So we got prowess schemes. What about this? Escorting is always very easy. It's just a simple transport contract. We get plenty of gold. We get opinion. We get prestige. Why not? Let us take this contract. Where are we going to? I don't think it says where we're going to, does it? A noble envoy of the top needs protection from bandits and accidents and welcomes the aid of experienced travelers. Do you know, I'm going to take the contract. Let's do it. So a delegation from Tarb Jahar of Tanaf Parch saunters through the flaps of my great tent. Greetings, adventurer. Many are the roads of this world and treacherous. If your work for Tanaf Parch, my liege, would pay well for your expertise, I, Tahomi, am a most loyal servant of the Tarb. It is his words I must carry to Boshab, to the hall of Otabaha Adia. Guide me, protect me, and entrust my missive does not fall prey to prying eyes. Do you know what? He shall travel swiftly. Let's keep our camp here, because we want to stay in the area anyway. And we will set off at once. So how far are we going? Oh, we are going quite far east, and it looks quite dangerous, so I'll tell you what. I mean, we can scout for talent for free. But I might also get some mercenary guards. Let's see. So all the danger is coming from... What's this terrain? Desert. It's right there. I just couldn't see it. Desert and desert, basically. So would it not be cheaper to probably get... Is it this one? Aid Explorers Pack. It's not good enough. I might just have to hire some mercenary guards there. And I'll tell you what, instead of scouting for talent, we have some problem down here. Because it's a dune sea. So maybe I also need this as well. Ah, that doesn't help with the dune sea though. Which one helps with the dune sea? I think none of these? Yeah, if I got these, it wouldn't help. Right. I guess we'll just scout for talent. And we shall set off at once. Let us start traveling. This should still be fun and offer plenty of interactions on the way, one will imagine. I visited the capital. I gained martial experience. And in fact, we are making very quick progress. Oh, wow. Scouting out ahead of the camp, I come across a ramshackle collection of traders. They are gathered around some large but old and ruined buildings that the remaining ones in good condition have been occupied by the merchants. Their wares are fairly standard, food mostly being on a well-travelled road that would no doubt attract many purchasers, yet my eye is drawn inexorably towards the grey, pock-marked walls of the ruins. So magnificent they are, the merchants occupy merely the outskirts, while its dilapidated heart remains untouched. Ooh. You know, let's stay safe and buy provisions. I am here on an escorting mission. I don't want to put myself in any kind of unnecessary danger. And we are almost about to arrive. So that's going to be, what, 100 odd gold, I think it said? Which is, that's lovely. We're still gaining... Okay, so this is still within. Let's see, foreign inspiration. Ah, because my camp is still here, I think I'm still gaining trait experience for this. And I need at least 50, so that would be at least level 2. Before we consider moving to Umba. Ideally, I would like to max them out, but we'll see how things develop. If I run out of contracts or whatnot, we might move earlier. I report before Otaba Adia herself. You have come at my acquaintance Tarb Jahar's behest, no? On what business? Tahomi steps forwards. Worthy Otaba Adia. I speak for the Tarb Jahar of Tanaf Parch, but the message I bear is fit for your ears alone. Come, answers the Otaba darkly. We shall speak in my chambers. Captain Bountig, your service is noted. You may remain as a guest in my tribe. I should head back to my camp though. 100 gold, just like that. Holy crap. And we are now distinguished as well. I could also ask for more gold, except I can't. He wouldn't be willing to share any right now. I could ask for some random men-at-arms. That's interesting. It's random though, so I don't get to pick. And the thing is, I only want to use flavor men-at-arms. Although we're not currently in the east, so maybe it makes sense that we wouldn't recruit them, but I still want to. Maybe we just be patient, save the gold, it's fine. Obad is in charge of our food supplies and sheepishly revealed our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and produce, and we have quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. The locals must have something. But guys, I just realized the time. I will leave things there for today. I am going to record the next episode straight away because I'm really having a lot of fun. The plan is we'll stay at least until level 2, and then I will consider whether I go to Umbar, because in order to return to my homeland, I do need 50 experience in each one. And then we have even more story content, which I haven't actually explored. So I'm really looking forward to it. But guys, thank you for watching as always. I will see you next time.